No, I don't really have anything I care to do in particular. I'm doing a little video editing. That's cute. There's that.
I see that.
This is our.
What is that? Is that just the magnetic field of the planet?
Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about my background picture?
Yeah.
The.
You're opening.
Yeah. I wonder if I'm going to turn the volume down on that. It is. So I can play it without deafening us. Yeah, it's Earth's magnetic field. Capturing cosmic rays. Particularly from the sun.
Jesus.
Some model someone posted a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Which is why we get the northern lights. Did we get southern lights too? Just nobody ever sees that shit because it's way the fuck down there.
Yeah, we get southern lights as well. We've been getting them real close up lately.
Really?
Yeah. They've been coming down.
Seeing them or something?
Something? No, you could see them in Colorado, I guess. You might have been able to see them if you didn't have so many trees.
No, I saw it earlier during the summer when it was coming way down. I saw it a little bit.
There's all those. Supposedly, our Earth's magnetic field is weakened, and so we're more susceptible to cosmic rays, and that's why. So they say.
Or it could have just been a particularly big solar event.
I mean, supposedly, this is where some of the science, I don't necessarily believe it. They show how the Earth's magnetic field is substantially weaker than it was 100 years ago. There's these different solar flare events.
I believe that.
Yeah, I don't know if I do either.
That.
I just don't believe anything.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
I don't believe anything NASA says, man. I just don't.
Because they say something different every other day. It's fucking hard to keep up with. You're like, fuck it, whatever, dude.
I want to do some video editing on some of this Nova Drift stuff I've done, and put cool music to it. Yeah, put cool music to it. I was thinking about doing a couple of video game reviews.
Is there any copyright?
Not when it comes to that kind of thing. If I'm a critic, if I review a game, it's totally fine. Copyright with the music can be an issue. Boom. Couple fun runs. They just visually are fairly appealing, I'd say. Couple of fun builds. I'm just good at this game. So I think it'd just make good background. But it also, I don't know if you've ever watched Seth. Have you ever watched Seth?
Seth who?
Here, I'm gonna show him to you. I'm gonna play him on YouTube. I hope I don't get in trouble for this. I'll just make the box really small and viewable. Huh?
Don't record.
Nah, it's okay. I'm just gonna do this.
Damn, this coffee's good.
It's how I damn near study this stuff.
This coffee I just made is better than Starbucks.
I do think if you would some Cowboy Bebop lo-fi, I've been listening to it, so good. I want to make this kind of music. Here, I can play a couple seconds of it and critique it. But you have to have your own voice over it. This is cool. This is actually some stuff I want to do in the podcast, is talk about other podcasts and how you can legally do it. If I'm critiquing this and talking over the top of it, it's legal. And particularly if I only do 15 seconds of it or so, it's fine. It's called fair use.
So the illegal part of it comes when you just play something.
Right, when I take it and use it as my own. And that's why all those videos you see chopped up with people with their face over the top of it, glaring. It's called fair use. But that's also douchey too. Anyways, I'm sorry, continue.
Yeah, I mean, if you just have somebody sitting there listening to something and reacting with their facial expression, I think that's stupid. I hate watching those. Like, I'll make an effort to find the original. Like, I don't want to give those people support, honestly.
Like, watch this guy right here. This guy's amazing. He's got some of the best video game reviews I've never played. They're just hilarious. Let's see if I can get away with it.
You've never played?
Yeah, but some of them I have. So, like, one of my favorite videos, I've watched this video many times. I can't play the whole thing, of course, because it's his. But this is, I'll play a couple seconds of this.
Hey, people.
Just because he's so freaking funny.
What I'm criticizing is the involvement of this fat fuck. Celebrated offer, helping to weave the narrative experience. Okay,
This is
let's see what this dude wrote.
so true.
Sunset found her squatting in the grass.
I haven't. It's not on your stream.
Was looser than the one before and smelled fouler. By the time the moon
All I can see is your video editing screen.
Hang on. Oh, shoot.
So I'm not hearing it or seeing it.
Hang on. Just means I need to pull that one down and show you mine. Boom.
Alright.
Let's try again. Give me a moment.
Ronnie, what I'm criticizing is the involvement of this fat fuck. Celebrated offer, helping to weave the narrative experience. Okay, let's see what this dude wrote. Sunset found her squatting in the grass, groaning. Every stool was looser than the one before and smelled fouler. By the time the moon came up, she was shitting brown water. The more she drank,
the more she shat. The more she shat, the thirstier she grew.
And her thirst sent her crawling to the stream to suck up more water. I rest my...
And hang on. Let's do one more part. This guy does video games reviews. Seriously, he's just like the funniest. It's right at the end. Maybe not. And he plays some good music in his too. Like in the end of his, like this is what I want to do.
Does he make his own? Or?
Yeah, he makes it. He's a video reviewer. I'm telling you, you should watch him. He's amazing.
But he makes his own music, or no?
No, he gets it and gives credit where it's due.
Oh, okay.
But he reviews games. Like this is a PvP, you know, like outtake with some music he got made for him. And he's good. He's good at the game too. But create some stuff like that, like do an overdrift, like, you know, just talk about it and be goofy about it. Be like, do you like playing 4 different kinds of monsters repeatedly for hours on end? Do you also like pixel perfect gaming, and is this important to you? You know, like, are you an Asteroids arcade machine connoisseur? Do you? Here, I'll just do it. I'll just do it like I'm doing it right now. But work on my video editing skills as well. You know, while I'm doing this, and take this kind of material, and just start creating with these kinds of things. Like speed it up, like you speed it up a little bit, and then here I'll throw in some of my lo-fi music. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see my stream. And then just talk shit.
I see the Nova Drift.
And now I'm just talking shit. And Nova Drift is one of the coolest games it's ever been created. And I'm totally going to have to cite this music as a source, because YouTube's going to be like, no, we're not going to post your video unless you put an @ for them in here. And if you ever monetize this video, we're going to try to give them money. And they can sue you for it.
Which is why you need your own.
Yes, right, exactly. So, but like the Nova Drift part, I can totally do. It's fair use. I can do that all I want. Feel me?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
like, and I don't know if you can hear the music and you can see the Nova Drift, and then my camera's over it right now, and I have the NonProphet logo up at the top. You know, doing my thing. But I want to start working on some more stuff. Like I said, like I could totally use the team. Like I got a lot of the art. I can do a lot of the art, and I'm going to learn the streaming portion. But quite frankly, like when it comes to editing videos, some of it's pretty easy. And since you're not going to have me, you're not going to get in a legal battle with me. Like we could totally like promote each other, and so a lot of those like streams and stuff work. We don't know anybody. I'm not Mr. Beast. This isn't 2009. But still totally doable.
It's cool. Not 2009. What do you mean?
No.
Thought it was.
So cool. So now I'm just gonna pull my webcam out, and all I got is Nova Drift running in the background. I can smoke a stogie, no one will see, and I can review videos. You and I can both review video games. We could do this. We could just start a video game, like just do any kinds of these things. You know?
Yeah, of course.
And so, like, when I talk about commitment and wanting to spend time on it and involvement, like, not only do I not want you to not just, like, be goofing off on your phone and doing your chores and shit. Like, it would be nice to, like, if you could bring a skill to the table, you know? Like, even content. Like, go play a video game and download OBS and, did you see that? That one shot I just got on that boss? Did you see that?
I'm always
one
playing.
Well, then download OBS.
Yeah.
Then download OBS. Check this out. Watch this. This is dope. Watch my stream.
Can I just stream mine through Discord?
Watch this. Watch this.
Do it?
Oh, one shot. You see that?
That's pretty good.
And here, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Boom!
Oh!
2 in a row.
Is that a grenade?
Yeah, it's a grenade build. It's shitty, but it's fun early.
Damage, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? Unfortunately, that particular build only gets the one shots, so it kind of gets shitty later on when the screen like really fills up.
Yeah. Okay.
I need to turn this music off before I get myself in trouble, or at least turn someone else's music on. That's the way it goes. No, really, I save it.
I think you could couldn't you make your own music like with AI and it would technically be yours?
So what I do, I'll show you. So what I do, yes, you could, but it's not very good, and I'd rather just do some Fruity Loops kind of thing. Okay, so what I do is I've been ripping freeware, and some of this stuff is not. It's like I think I can use this stuff. No, I don't want that. Like this one, Vaporware is a synth. This, I believe, is not copyrighted. Yeah, none of this stuff's copyrighted, so. Some of the stuff I can use.
Okay. How do you even know what's copyrighted and what's not?
YouTube tries to notify you of all the copyright violations and gives you your legal options. And you can claim things as fair use and people can sue you and shit. But they'll just take down blatant stuff. It just depends. It's kind of complicated, and I'm just learning.
Is that video gameplay is never copywritten? That always trips me out.
It depends. It depends. You can't blatantly rip off a video game as your own.
Well, not the video game itself, but the play. It always kind of trips me out how the play is never copied. You know what I mean?
There's some deeper copyright laws on that one, but I'm not aware of those ones yet.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it's real sophisticated. There's a lot of deep stuff.
It's more of just a curiosity than anything, but like I just think it's a little fascinating that you can play a video game and it's your intellectual property, even though it's not like you made the video game. You know what I'm saying?
Look, here's the thing.
fine.
I just
Listen,
copyright law in general just kind of confuses me. Like I
I'm
don't
kind of
get it.
retarded.
Like I get it in some sense, but not all of it. Like the nuances is where it starts losing me.
Dude, I'm telling you, you go read an article about it. It's fucking deep. Even go read YouTube and talk about like gets into case law very quickly.
No, I believe you that it's deep. Like fucking confusing. Like,
So I can
Like,
also
holy
pull this
shit.
up with open with. That's really all it gives me. Media player. Open it up with that. There we go. Sorry, I have to use multiple programs to.
why?
It's like there's because when you're just using different media sources, is something you run into. You'll find
okay.
it's easier sometimes just to open stuff up in different programs, so then it doesn't shift your stuff on one program.
Gotcha.
Which one was that?
They say hunger is the best spice.
Yeah, I've already like done some of this stuff. There we go. It's a fun one. Wave 36 with my own music and things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of like, if I'm not working on the house, I just want to do this stuff all the time. And I just want to find ways to create. Like, I'm just going to be like expressive at first and just figure out what works and like what entices me to like want to create videos.
Well, not only
and stuff.
that, but you want to know what people want to watch too.
That's so much I don't care. That's what you care about. I don't give a shit about that, dude. Like I just want to.
Well,
I want to.
I hear you, but at the same time, like, what's your purpose of making content? I mean, at the end of the day, it's so people watch it. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah, but if I'm not passionate about it, if it doesn't come from the heart, it's just not going to happen. So, like, in order for that to even occur, to like find out which niche I fit in, like, I need to just be consistent and passionate, straight up. That's it. I'll find the rest out along the way. You know, like, I just need to stay involved if this is what I want to do. Straight up. Like, I'll find it. I'll find it. I'm telling you, I've studied this stuff, and like people whose their career, like their YouTube careers take off and stuff. It's like for like a lot of different reasons.
Yeah.
And it tends to be they just stuck with it until something just worked. You know, like I watched this video. There's this guy who's recently blown up, and he's even like gone on some bigger people's podcasts. And he was like, you know, I was a musician for years, and nobody liked anything I ever did. And my buddy had a camera, and I was just like doing this stupid costume for this like no-name production I wasn't gonna make any money off of or anything. And my buddy just goes, dude, you're fucking hilarious in that outfit. We need to take a video of this. And this is after he'd been doing this shit for years, and he was like damn near homeless and shit.
Yeah.
And this video just took off and made him a sensation. And he's like, you know, honestly, at the end of the day, he's like, it's just because I kept at it, you know. He's like, I just was very persistent, even in like, it's just what I wanted to do, you know. I wanted to just like make this music and do this, and even though I had never found anything, it was like once it wasn't the music anymore, and I was still passionate about it, like it didn't matter. I'd found it, you know.
Yeah.
He's like, and now people have to listen to my music because I make all my music for my videos, you know, like. So in a weird way, that's how this ended, you know, how it ended up working. Now you guys all listen to my shit all the time, and it has nothing to do with the music. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I still get to make my music, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's
like
a good point.
He's like, the podcasting stuff's easy. The amount of time I put into my, you know, like my intros and outro musics and stuff like that, like you guys don't understand. That's why I do this. So it really, you know, and I've heard that too. Like the Y-Files guys talked about that a bit. Like he was a producer, and now he gets to like, you know, do goofy backgrounds and gets to do his play fish that he worked on for years that never did anything for him, you know?
Sure.
So, like, people at all levels make this happen. And it's through consistency and just working on their skill sets constantly, trying to get better and better and better. So that, like, I told my wife, I made her a promise. I said, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to make money at. Like, one way or another. Like, this is going to happen. Like, it's... Like, there isn't anything else now. Like, yes, I have my family role and I got to play that. But I'm not going to do construction. I'm not going to teach. I'm like, if teaching comes through online shows, like if that's part of my process, great. I love it. Like, I hope that's part of it because I'm passionate about teaching, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not my ultimate passion. My ultimate passion is to talk, I guess. Self-reflect. Watch videos of myself playing Nova Drift.
Fuck it, whatever works.
Right? I don't care.
No,
Whatever
I mean,
gets me
fucking do what makes you happy, man. Who
Right?
gives a
What
shit?
gets me inspired? What makes me wake up in the morning? And if that's to
And honestly, you got a point that, you know, something will click and something will work.
the
at
flow
some point.
state of this particular build I get into.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see me like the way I click through stuff and the way I choose my mods. It's just like I'm watching it, you know, not playing.
Yeah.
And the rhythm I have, like I'll listen to like lo-fi music and play this game. And the flow state I get into, it's interesting watching it as an observer. I'm telling you, self-reflection is a big part of why I want to podcast, is self-reflection. Like you say, you don't want to get on camera. Do you know how powerful podcasting would be? Like, stop being such a pussy. Like, it would be good for you. It would be so good for you because you would self-reflect in a mirror and you would like take it seriously every day. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, partially I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
You say that again?
Nothing. All right.
No, I like hearing it.
No, I'm just saying that.
Tell me what keeps you from coming on camera on a podcast, Eric.
I've already told you.
Yeah, but and then I'm retorting by saying you're afraid because you know how powerful it would be for you.
No, it's more about I know myself and I would have to do it in a certain way to be comfortable.
Didn't I just get done telling you that you just got to do it, and that's how you get better at it? And you totally agreed with me.
Yeah, I do agree with you. You're not wrong.
I mean, in all fairness, I do like to play devil's advocate. Again, it's that whole like, it doesn't matter if you just want to do construction and live your life. You live a great life. So like, why? I'm not telling you have to change.
No, but I do think it would be advantageous to change.
I just always tell you I think you'll become a wizard. And you're afraid to. You're afraid of what wizardry means.
I'm already a wizard.
That's why I say, I mean, I do think that you are really good at manifesting your own destiny. I just think that you haven't, like, I feel like there's this belief system behind it, and you just haven't quite bought into it. And it's not my belief system, right? Like, I don't assume to tell you that you need to believe what I believe, because you're clearly a master of your own destiny, right? But you haven't bought into that itself. Like, you say it sometimes, but you haven't completely. Right, like
maybe
you've accepted.
But in a way, I have.
You've accepted a low form of it, and you're kind of like, I feel like you're just kind of afraid of the next level. But time's running out, buddy. We're getting older. We get more tired and harder to undo things that we've done. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
The payoff's endless.
Yeah, that's fair.
Who needs a harem when you can become an author about it, and then you manifest that reality in any way that you want. You don't even have to have. Remember, I was telling you how that's just too much work. Like no real man wants a harem. It's just too much fucking work.
Oh yeah, of course.
He wants the idea, and so that author has manifested that, the idea.
Right.
Like, he is better at it than anybody in the world, and he doesn't have to take the bad parts of it. He only takes the fantasy part of it.
Correct.
You know, like his story about writing those kinds of books is more fascinating to me than like the man or the stories themselves.
Did you look into it?
Yeah. I mean, I already have a couple times. You brought him up several times, and I've looked into it. It's just that I don't read much of fiction, but I tend to like to read fiction about fiction authors. Like at some point, I read all of Chuck Palahniuk's stuff and then read more about Chuck Palahniuk than I'd ever did his books. You know?
Okay, fair enough.
And so then I kind of just always go back to philosophy and things like that anyways, because that's just where I'm going to end up. And I break the mold every once in a while and reread a Tolkien or some classical sci-fi, some Isaac Asimov.
Sure.
Which is borderline philosophy in its own, you know? Like, so, same with Tolkien can be said. Borderline history, too.
I mean, I think most authors just in general have a lot of philosophy in their writing. I mean, most of what I read ends up having religious components to it, even though it's sci-fi.
Sure.
Which is interesting, to say the least.
Well, and that's like I love that stuff. Like, so my wife reads a lot of fantasy books, and they're romance, like slash like kind of the same thing, you know, like a male version of what you read, or a female version of what you read.
I mean, I've even read female versions of this kind of sci-fi you're talking about. I've read female versions, and you can tell it's female version just the way it's written, and I'm like, this isn't really my cup of tea, but I'm going to read it anyways because it is fascinating.
There's nothing wrong. I mean there's nothing wrong with it.
Perspective. It gives you perspective into like female psyche. Like I usually don't generally enjoy female sci-fi writers, but I'll read some of them anyways because some of them are decent. But the men just tend to be much better writers, just in general.
Oh, careful.
I don't need to be careful. I think men are better at almost everything than women.
Yeah, just you are saying that.
Somebody can cancel me for that, but it's just true. I mean, anybody's welcome to come argue with me about that.
I think it comes down to practice. Like I say, I think it all has to do with practice.
I don't think so, man. I think inherently sometimes men are just better at certain things, and that's not to say that women are not, you know what I mean, aren't better at certain things than men. They're sure, of course.
No, I think it's practice. I think it's even like evolutionary practice. I'm really careful about like that negative talk about women.
I don't think it's negative. I think it's reality.
Well, to some
how
degree.
can that be negative? That's negative.
You've got to be you've got to be careful in the kind of context you say that stuff at the very least, because it can.
And I think I am careful.
It can come off really bad, just saying it like outright and bluntly like that. So all I'm saying is I think it's a practice makes perfect thing, and men have generationally like practiced war and agriculture and stuff like that. Women have not. And so, of course, we are going to be better at it than them. And this goes as deep as even entertainment. Men weren't allowed to act women were not allowed to be actors in like the last 500 years. That men got up on stage and dressed as women.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like women weren't comedians. Jesters were men. So, yes, I agree with you in a lot of respects. But I think that you just got to put it in context. That's all I'm saying. You got to be careful. That's it. Sorry. I didn't mean to go on a rant about that. I just don't want to get you or myself labeled as something we are not. Like, I'm not a misogynist.
I'm not. And not in any way, shape, or form. Personally, I just think it's foolhardy to think that there aren't certain things in life that women are uniquely suited to that men are not going to be able to do. And the opposite is also true.
No, 100%. 100%. Although I maybe disagree about acting and comedy and stuff and writing.
I don't necessarily agree with the mainstream thought that women aren't funny. Like, I don't think that's true at all. I mean, I've seen many women that are fucking hilarious. But because that seems to be a theme from what I've seen online from people is that women aren't funny, and I don't get that. Like, I don't believe that. Like, I've met many women that are pretty funny, but
you know what? I'll tell you where it comes from, and this is.
But I would say it's more rare.
No, I would say. Well, here's the thing: is that it's a much more nuanced issue, right? Like, it's not that women are necessarily worse in some of these things; it's that there's just more men. So when you have a role,
more men that do it.
When you look at comedians, this is a good example. When you look at comedians, Unfortunately, a lot of the women that get promoted are just downright unfunny. Unfortunately, and I don't understand why.
But they get promoted because it serves an agenda, typically.
No, I really think it has more to do with who gives the best blowjob. I mean, at the end of the day, I really think that's what it comes down to in comedy.
Now that's a more misogynistic statement than I said.
No, and it's because it's the truth of the matter. Like it's because women are not chosen.
I'm not going to argue with you. I just saying.
Good example. Kill Tony. Kill Tony just lets anybody up on stage.
You think Amy Schumer's out there giving blowjobs? I doubt it. Maybe she is.
Dude, who knows? Like who knows why? And like not every, just because Amy Schumer. One example is,
do you see that raging lesbian out there giving blowjobs to get ahead? I don't think so.
There's some things I'm not going to discuss on this channel, and Ellen DeGeneres is one of them.
Okay.
But let me put it this way: is that you can take one example and go, yeah, no, that's not the case. But I can give you dozens of the others. I can give you dozens and dozens of examples of cute little white girls who aren't funny, who have their job as comedians, and that's far more the prevailing status quo than Amy Schumer's.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of powerful men out there that will humor women. I did it to my own wife. I humored her and let her do all kinds of things.
So
she was terrible at
you've
because
just got to be.
She's my wife.
And it's the same in Hollywood. Like I think there's a lot of actresses who do not get enough play because they're
actually good.
Yeah, they're no because they don't let they don't do the sex thing, and so they don't get as much attention. And even if it's just by way of like not networking like that, I don't like men that don't go to Diddy parties didn't get famous in the last 20 years. Like if you didn't go to a Jamie Foxx party or a Diddy party, you probably weren't getting famous. It's just that those same kinds of lines. People don't want to talk about it, but at the end of the day, that's the case. And in male comedians don't have as much of that barrier that women do. So it's more that the roles are reversed. So it's just in comedy, it's just like, Cat Williams. Someone who probably doesn't engage in that still doesn't have a whole lot of female comedians because there's less of them. So it's like this, so you just have a nuanced approach. There's less female comedians. It is a male-dominated place where the roles are going to be such that the women who will do favors are more likely to get the jobs most of the time. Or they're a person of color who gets their job because of their color. I can name a bunch of males that are that way. Men who got their jobs because of their skin color,
Sure, of course.
I'm not going to outwardly slander comedians.
It's actually, in my opinion, a ginormous issue in the United States.
Yeah, a good example is the Smollett. Like Jesse Smollett, as Dave Chappelle calls him. That dark-skinned actor who paid people to beat him up in the street. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was like, he didn't have a career because he got DEI'd or whatnot, because he wasn't any good. And they just needed an extra dark-skinned person on a show. And so he got, you know what I mean? Like, he was a diversity hire.
Just right place, right time sort of
thing. And he had enough money to, from his show to, pay these thugs to get himself, famous on the internet again for, a couple months. And so he did it, It was just but there was no real fame. There was no real
no, there's no substance to it.
No talent, no real talent. And I'm not, but that's not some blanket statement where dark-skinned people don't have talent. I'm saying there's just this was this one guy, and there's I can give you lots of examples.
Well, that would be ignorant to say so, but
I watched Kill Tony. I don't know if you I'm sure you've watched Kill Tony. Everybody knows Kill Tony.
Yes, I have.
And if you haven't, go watch it. But a bunch of girls, and they're freaking, and some of them are hilarious. But there's still so many less of them.
Yeah.
The pool's just smaller. It's kind of like
very much so farther and fewer between.
It's kind of like MMA. It's like you cannot say. I showed you some videos of Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko, just freaking murderers.
Yeah, and they're fucking scary. However,
and half their competition is junk. But when they do, when women of that particular caliber do meet up with one another, they put on a freaking show. There's the pool is smaller. That's all. So all I'm trying to say is,
well, also you got to realize with anything like that in entertainment, the fact is that most people in general, even women especially, don't want to watch the women. They want to watch the men, and the same thing with the men. Men prefer to watch men, not women.
I don't. I like
But
watching.
that is generally the case, and you can't argue that because it's true. It's just fact.
I like watching good fights. That's what I like watching. I think maybe you're right.
Yeah, but
I'm biased. Like I just like whatever's good.
That's fair. But most people in general,
and other people want to see.
They want to see certain things. That's all.
Yeah, they want to see Conor McGregor curse at people on pressers. It's so stupid. I hate that stuff. It's like WWF kind of thing. It's also
it just is what it is, man.
It's just also rigged these days.
I know, but people don't care.
No.
They don't give a shit. So, there's that.
What game have you been playing lately?
Right now I'm playing Dyson Sphere. Want me to stream it?
No, but I'm telling you, you should get OBS. You should get OBS and record yourself. Because not all like, so I don't want to be a streamer, right? Like I don't want to stream games. Like these are a couple of outtakes from like particularly good games that I went through and found. And like I want to work on the music part of it and stuff. More than anything, I like want you to give me content. Like have a Dropbox and throw in a good video from time to time, or like show me a couple of videos that you played that you liked before we go on stream, something like that.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any desire? Like, do you have any of that knowledge about OBS and those kinds of things, or how to use any of that shit? Or is there any chance of you ever learning it?
Yeah, of course.
It's like I haven't been streaming this stuff, but I do.